Dear students and fresh graduates, I hope you are keeping well and I welcome you again to my channel on YouTube, Self Enhancement with Komal Mehrotra. Today I am going to talk about the recruitment process, understanding the recruitment process a little better for all types of companies and what do they offer as far as the process and the activities that are concerned in that particular covered in that particular process are concerned. So let's start with first things first, and that is what is the definition of the recruitment process. So recruitment is an activity of the employer and the prospective employee, and it is not a single event, but it is a series, rather a process of events. It begins with simple things like building up the student's profile, the prospective employees' profile. So, what and how can you build up a good profile? A profile can be built up by keeping a few things in the mind. As soon as you step into your graduation, you need to start adopting a lots and lots of activities. You need to participate in co-curricular activities. You need to participate in extracurricular activities, which add on to your CV or resume. Now, what do we need to keep? What are the other things that we need to keep in mind? Get into volunteer groups. Publish research papers by taking the help of your faculty members. That is what helps you in building a good profile, a rich profile, which can be selected by any particular corporate house. Another advantage that you get of building up this profile is that you get the exposure of various types of jobs. If you go in for internships and summer trainings during your profile building, what will happen is that you will get the exposure of those various types of jobs that may or may not suit your interest areas. And once you get to know that particular interest area which impresses you most, interests you most, you would definitely like to make a satisfying and meaningful career in that particular line. So it is also called jobs shadowing. If you do that particular thing for a short duration of time, you get to know about the ins and outs of that particular job, and you will definitely be able to perform better in it if your interest area matches with it. So, after student profiling, what is the next step? Of course, we need still to understand the recruitment process a little bit more. The recruitment process can be of three types. One is planned recruitment process, wherein the corporate house takes out a definite advertisement for the requirement that they have, the skills required, etc., are everything listed out. That means the job description is also listed out by that corporate house. Then there can be an unexpected recruitment process because of the death or maybe the sudden leaving of any particular employee. Then there can be a third type of recruitment process, and that is anticipated recruitments. That means that a corporate house is progressing according to the future needs. So it anticipates the needs in the present and then what will be its requirements in the future. According to that, it develops a new type of job description, job detailing, maybe a completely new job position as well, and then starts recruiting for that. Another thing that students need to understand is about the various types of recruitment processes. One is, of course, the on campus recruitment process. On campus means when a company visits your particular college, institute, or university to hire students from there, candidates from there. Then we have the off-campus uh, process, wherein you have to visit the campus of some other college, institute, or university for the hiring process. Third is uh, pool campus, wherein it can happen either on your campus or on some other campus, but students or prospective candidates from many institutes, universities, or colleges are invited at one particular location, and the competition level is increased quite a bit because students or participants from various institutes will be participating at one place. Then we have the on-site recruitment process, wherein the company calls the candidates at their chosen location, maybe their company headquarters, or maybe a hotel, or any particular location that they prefer. The next one can be a job fair. A job fair would be a very tricky proposition because you need to search the website of that particular job fair well, as your interest area and the number of companies which match your interest area, the numbers may not match. You should be choosing that job fair wherein at least 20 or more companies are visiting which fulfill your interest area requirements. So, this is the basic as far as recruitment is concerned. Uh, we we move on to the next step as far as recruitment is concerned, and that is student skill sets versus the corporate skill set requirement. This is also a very useful thing if we are able to match it, because it helps us in answering the interview question at a later stage, that why do you want to join us. If you are clear about your skill set and what is the skill set that is required by the corporate, you will always be able to score more as far as the interview is concerned. And of course, if the needs match, you will definitely be shortlisted as a candidate. Next one is students prefer multiple industries based on their interests. This I have seen very commonly happening in, especially in the engineering sector, wherein uh, the core branch engineering students would like to get safely placed in the IT sector, as well as choose to be a part of the core industry. This may not be that common as far as the students from the arts and humanities background may be concerned, but it is definitely a factor which is there in the engineering domain. Then, the next step that happens in the recruitment process is the corporate sends their skill or talent requirement. The placement cell matches the profile of the students and furthers it to the corporate houses. Then the corporate houses shortlist the student's profile, and then, of course, the corporate visits the campus or student visits the corporate for the next step. So, what is the next step? I've already covered the basics of group discussion with you. Today, I'll share some bit of information related to aptitude test as well. Then, after that, if you are facing an IT company, there can be coding rounds as well, and there can be technical written tests as well if you are facing a core technical company. This stands in place with BBA and BCA graduates as well. Then, after you have qualified and gone through these rounds and you get shortlisted, you get a call for the interview. After the interview, you will get a letter of interest or expression of interest by the company. If you accept it, then you get the offer letter, and then you need to sign and send it back as far as this recruitment process goes. So let's understand this aptitude test a little better as well. So, an aptitude test is any test which is designed to measure the potential for achievement of any particular candidate. So, aptitude basically means how quickly or easily will the candidate be able to learn in future. It differs from ability and achievement tests in that ability is what we can demonstrate in the present. Achievement is what we have already accomplished in the past. So types of aptitude tests. We've got the verbal aptitude test that shows your language comprehension skills. Numerical aptitude test, which shows your aptness with numbers. The spatial aptitude test, which helps the corporate houses in gauging your understanding and comprehension of figures and forms. Then we have got the clerical perception or data perception tests. All this comprises of a complete aptitude test. Some corporate houses also incorporate a psychometric test in this, and that is that may be related to maybe one parameter of your personality or maybe n number of parameters of your personality. It will totally be dependent on the requirement of the company. So some useful books and resources for verbal aptitude. You've got the well-known R.S. Agarwal series. You've also got a very good book for objective English by Edgar Thorpe. And of course, we very well know for CAT preparation, Arun Sharma has led and been in the limelight since many years. As far as GRE, GMAT, TOEFL, and IELTS are concerned, apart from the mentioned resources in the slide, we have also got the Manhattan series, which is also a very good resource. So the same resources are mentioned for quantitative aptitude tests as well. We have got similar resources available for data interpretation and logical reasoning as well. And now comes the other additional resources which can be used by students or candidates according to their weak areas or the areas of improvement. So, for numerical ability, we have got two books by Shakuntala Devi, by Abhijit Guha, and by George Summers. For improving your word power, you've got books by Cambridge University Press and New Age International Publishers. I've also shared with you some of the websites which are very useful in preparing for aptitude tests. And this is one more add-on from my side. Lots of consultancy organizations are there which help candidates get placed or recruited in various companies that they have tied up with. And these are some of the names which come to mind. I hope you have liked this particular video. I would definitely ask you to share and subscribe to my channel. Thanks and namaskar.